metals I talk about every week. Gold to me has finally found a local top. I say local because I think there's like no forever top on gold, but you had a monthly 9 buffer candle, you had a weekly 9, one candle off. This candle kind of screwed me. If this 9 was a pump candle, would have made me like a tons of money, but oh well. I think this is a local top on gold though. It's just finally downtrending where you have a lower high, right? You have a all-time high, higher low, lower high, and then lower low. So now you're in a downtrend on the daily, and where this is going to bottom, I have no idea, but it's kind of uninteresting to me because of the silver pair. So gold, which has been like, I guess all this to say, gold has been my number one trade for all of last year and the first quarter of this year. For me, I'm mostly not exposed to gold anymore. I have some gold I'll never sell, some spot and some coins and stuff, but I think this is probably finally going to cool off. And then if there's going to be any action in metals, so this is the interesting setup. This is probably what I'll just leave it on, is silver. So if there is going to be a metals pump, I think it's going to be in silver. If I could find, like I said, whatever. Real quick, I'll just type it in. Yeah, so monthly 9, this is silver versus gold into the 786. This is kind of like where I wanted it to come down to. Talked about this again up here. I was talking about buying down here, so I kind of have to look to listen to my plan and buy. And so the setup on the silver USD is what's interesting though. Purple line is the weekly B-band, and then green line is the daily B-band. So you can see the daily B-band is really tight, squeezed up here. So there's going to be volatility. I talked about, since I don't know the direction, I don't even have any idea. I talked about strangles and straddles and strangles. These are option strategies you can use to just bet on volatility, which I think is coming. So you don't have to guess the direction. Basically, you're just buying options inverse of one another. That you make money on the volatility. The only way you lose money is if it keeps doing this, which, given how tight the daily B-bands are, I don't think it's going to do. So what's interesting though is gold is kind of seeming cooked. Like I was just saying, kind of looks like a local top. So my expectation on this is actually kind of that it's going to break down. Well, I'm long silver, but I'm kind of expecting to get stopped out. I'm kind of expecting it to do this daily D-band pinch down, actually, and then come into this weekly B-band. And then that would be then a higher low on this whole move. So might sounded a little like convoluted what I just said, but if you just imagine this as a move up, you had a move down rather, and then you have a move up, and now you're just looking for the higher low, right? So all this chop and all this stuff is like just a distraction, really, I think. And I've chopped myself up in this range, but you came up, you bounced, and now you're just going to look for the higher low. So I think you're going to get this B-band breakdown into either the 618, 786 is where the weekly B-band is there, and then potentially that's how you get your triangle breakout to the moon on silver. So that's something I'm watching like super close. I have strangles, I have straddles on silver, so I'm just going to make money if this thing moves in the next whatever it is. I think I have bought out for like 2 months. So as long as this breaks in the next 2 months, I should make money on that, and then I'm going to buy the silver dip. I've reduced my silver exposure also, along with my gold exposure, and hoping to rebuy on the higher low.